Pete the Cat, Five Little Pumpkins by James Dean. 5 little pumpkins. So here's Pete the Cat, and here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little pumpkins. Sitting on a gate. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." So there's Pete the Cat with his clock. The second one said, "There are witches in the air." So there they go on the witch's broom. The third one said, "But we don't care." The fourth one said, "Let's run and run and run." So there's the fourth pumpkin. The fifth one said, "I'm ready for some fun." So they have their bags ready. Ooh, ooh, went the wind. And out went the lights. So there's all the pumpkin faces, and there's Pete the Cat's eyes. And the 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. So there they go. They're all on skateboards. Happy Halloween! So there they go trick-or-treating. Pete the Cat is dressed up as a robot. And there's a pirate, Dracula, probably a zombie, another pirate. All right, so we're gonna make our own little cat and pumpkins. And it's a quick, easy little thing to do. So what you need is strips of paper. So you need to start with approximately a 2 to 3 centimeter strip of paper. And you need four pieces for the cat. And then I started with another 4 pieces for the pumpkin. So the first thing you do is you layer them. So you need to lay them crossways. So you're making either an X or a plus, and you gluing them in the center. So you're going to put a spot of glue in the center of your strip, and you're going to attach the first 2 together. And you can just eyeball approximately halfway for each strip. And then add the next strip. So you're going to put that diagonal to those strips. And then the next strip. So that's what you're going to start with. So while that one dries, I'm going to show you how to finish up our pumpkin. So all you need to do now is fold each strip up with the strip across from it and glue them again. So if you're using the tacky glue, it usually is quite quick, and you can hold them for a second and the strips are going to stay together. If you need to, you can use some tape. If you just have plain white glue, it's probably going to take a little longer for the strips to stay, or you can use stick glue as well. So that's where we're at so far. And I'm just going to keep adding a layer of glue. Keep folding in my strips. And then I'm on my last set now. So that is what your pumpkin starts as. And you just need to hold that long enough for those all to set. And then on the top, I've added a couple little leaves. So to do that, you're just taking a little piece of green, so it's just a little piece of a strip, fold it in half, and then from the fold, so down at the bottom, you cut from the fold and you start cutting a shape of a leaf, so kind of just like a rounded triangle, but don't cut all the way to your fold. Leave your fold there. You're going to want to add a little bit of glue right on the fold, and then you can just pop that right on top of your pumpkin. So once your glue all dries, you'll be able to move that around as your decoration for your house. So that's the pumpkin, and then we're going to move on to the cat. So we've done the same thing with our strips. We've layered them. We took 4 strips and we've layered them in. So we've got 8 pieces out from the center. And we're just going to continue on with the same pattern of folding in the strips. So you need a little bit of glue onto the last section that you curled up so that you can stick them, they can attach to that, as well as join them in the center. So I'm on my last strip here. And I'm just going to hold this for a second to make sure that it's going to stay together. So this is where you get to see how even all your strips were, how evenly you glued them. So you can see one of mine is sticking out a little, so I must not have had that one perfectly centered, but it's okay. So just for time's sake, I'm going to put a little piece of tape on there so I can carry on with the rest of the craft. So that's our first piece of our cat. And then we're going to do the top or the head the same way. So you need to just fold all those in. So starting with your and if you want, you can mark the center of your strips so that you have them nicely, perfectly even. I'm not too concerned about that. It's just a fun craft, so I don't think we need to worry too much about how perfectly even they are. However, your cat's going to sit nicer if you have all your strips perfectly even. Okay. Throw a piece of tape on there just because I think my glue kind of rubbed off a little bit. To the next section. And another piece of tape so we can save a little bit of time here. All right, so you just hold that and squeeze it together till it's all attached. So that's my head. And then we can go ahead and decorate maybe the top of the head before we attach them together. And we're going to attach the tail so it has a chance to dry. So I've just cut out a little curved piece of black. It doesn't have to be specific shape or size. It's whatever kind of tail you like. If you want a straight tail or a fluffy tail. And for my eyes and my ears, I have just an extra little scrap piece of black. And what I like to do to get 2 things the same is just fold it in half. And then I'm just going to cut 2 triangles for my cat's ears. And then I'm going to fold the end of those down so that I have a place to glue them onto my cat. And if you want, you can add a little pink in the center of your cat's ears. You don't have to do that. Just cut 2 more little triangles, smaller than your original triangles. And you're going to just quickly attach those into your center of your ears. So you've got a triangle on top of a triangle, and then down at the bottom I'm going to fold it over, and that's the spot where I'm going to put the glue to attach it to the top of my cat's head. So you can place those ears wherever you want. Fold that one back a little more so we can see the inside of his ear. And then the next part is my eyes. So I just need a scrap again of yellow. And I'm going to make two sort of almond-shaped eyes. You can make whatever kind of eyes you think your cat should have. Some cats have more round, marble-like eyes, and some have almond-shaped eyes. So you need to decide where you're going to put your eyes on your cat. Is he going to be looking off to the side? Is he going to be looking more forward? So, because we have just strips, you're going to have to just sort of find a place. And I've brought a marker to make the center of my cat's eyes. So however you want to make those, you can also use a piece of paper or a marker. It's for the center of your cat's eyes. All right. And then there's his nose. So that was just sort of an upside down triangle. Cat's nose. You can make that any shape you want. I just kind of made it like a soft, rounded triangle piece. And I'm going to stick that on my cat's face as well. So that nose is what kind of makes it look more like a cat. And then at the end, we have our bottom, our body of our cat, and now we have the head of our cat. And we're going to stick those two pieces together. So this is going to be time consuming for you. You're going to need to place it on there, and then it takes a little bit of time to hold it on there and get it to stick on nicely. With the tacky glue, it definitely works a lot quicker. So if you can work your finger in there and kind of press it together nice and tight, then you have the top half of your cat. So I found that my cat didn't want to stand up that great after I attached my head. So what I did on my other example is we added a little tea light, a little battery operated tea light candle in there. And you can reach your finger in and click that on. Once you've worked your tea light in there, you can click it on, and then you can use it as a lighted decoration around your house or by your doorstep. And that little tea light will weight down your cat enough so that he can sit flat. And the other thing I did is I kind of bent the bottom of my strips a little bit to give him a little bit of a flatter base so that he can sit. Because once you add the head on, it makes it a little bit top heavy and he doesn't want to sit nice and straight. So if you can add a rock or a little tea light or some sort of decoration inside there, then you can have your Black Pete the cat sitting up nice and straight beside his pumpkins.